Introducing taking stock. In the last lesson, we learned that part of working smartly at the bar is checking your stock levels before service and taking stock after service. While these sound very similar, they are slightly different from each other. Checking your stock levels is about making sure that you restocked your fridges and bar correctly after the previous service. Taking stock, on the other hand, is far more detailed and is what we'll be looking at in this lesson. We'll be defining stock take, quantity and taking stock, and quality and taking stock. Let's start with defining stock take. Taking stock can be defined as the act of physically checking both the quantities and condition of the items that you are holding in your bar and storeroom. The most important thing about taking stock is that somebody has to physically do it. In other words, they need to actually be there and see all the stock with their own eyes. This way, whoever takes stock can be 100% sure that the stock has been checked correctly and accurately. Furthermore, stock needs to be checked in both your storeroom and in your bar and fridges. This way you know exactly how much you have. Let's take a closer look at quantity and taking stock in order to understand it fully. The first part of the definition of stock take deals with checking the quantity of all the different items. All this means is that the person taking stock is looking at how many of each item there is. Why do you think it's important to know how much of each item you have? The answer is because by seeing how much you have, you can have an idea of when you are likely to run out of those items and plan accordingly. For example, if you know that you usually sell 20 beers in an evening and you have 60 beers left, you can know there is a high chance that after 3 evenings you'll have no more beers left. Along with checking how many of each item is left, we can also work out how many items we sold in the last service. This is very useful advice if you want to work out how much money was made. For example, if you know that you had 40 beers before service and after you take stock you find out that you have 10 left, you know that you sold 30 beers during that service. A great tip for taking stock is to take small portions of the same drink and put them into a single bottle. For example, if you have 3 bottles of vodka that are all 1/3 full, put them all into a single bottle together. Just make sure that they are all the same brand of vodka, as you don't want to be mixing brands. Quality and taking stock. Along with checking the numbers of each item, the person taking stock also needs to check the quality of all the different items. In other words, they need to see whether their items are still in a good enough condition to use and serve to guests. The main thing to look for here is the expiry date and freshness of all the different items. This way, we will know when an item goes off and is no longer good enough or safe to be served to guests. This is especially important when it comes to fresh ingredients, such as fruit and vegetables. What do you think your guest's reaction would be to finding an old, ugly garnish on their cocktail? So in this lesson, we looked at defining stock take, quantity and taking stock, and quality and taking stock. In the next lesson, we'll be taking a look at how to go about taking stock.